You guys, so I want to show you a few techniques because I've been getting quite a few questions. The very first thing that I'm going to show you is how to hem. All right, so I've showed you how to hem in a university, and if you are a part of the university, you know that we have been hemming like crazy. We've been hemming the neckline and around the arms and the bottom of your garment. And a lot of you guys have been kind of struggling with the stretched fabric. So I'm going to teach you another way to hem. So I already have this portion of my fabric ironed out. All right, so pretend that it's a top. All right, everything that we've been doing, we've been giving ourselves 1 inch seam allowance, all right? So that means your hem should total up to 1 inch. So the very first thing that you do is you want to kind of fold it back, all right? And you want to measure. You always want to remeasure. And you want to fold it back 1/2 inch, okay? Because again, we gave ourselves 1 inch seam allowance. So you're going to fold it back 1/2 inch. And you're just going to take your iron and you're going to press it out, okay? Look how flat it is. Then what you're going to do is one more time, fold it in the same direction, another 1/2 inch, okay? You really don't need your ruler for that one because if you've done in 1/2 inch, all you have to do is just double it, okay? And voila, that way you don't have to pin unless it's not holding well. I have a cotton here, but all you have to do from here is just go on top of your hem, and you're just going to take your sewing machine and go ahead and lock in your stitch. All right, so this is how clean it looks. This is how clean it looks, and I'll show you what it looks like once the stitch is in. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to show you guys how to do is how to gather. So imagine this is the top of or the side of a garment or the top of a skirt or something of that nature. You put your stitch on the highest stitch, you know, the widest stitch that you have, which on my machine is a 10. All right, you put your foot down, put your needle down, and do not back stitch. Literally, just do a straight stitch, aligning it with the top of your garment. Okay, so you're going to do a straight stitch all the way down. Don't back stitch, all right? Just lift up your needle and take it from up under there. Cut it, but cut your strings long enough to where you still have some remaining. All right, so you see I just lined it up with my foot, or I lined it up with the top, and I just did a straight stitch. Now, even though that stitch is there, now you're going to line up your foot with that stitch, and you're going to do one more stitch underneath it, all right? Still keeping your machine at the widest stitch, and do not back stitch. Careful not to run over your first stitch. Just lift up your foot. All right. So now you should have 2 lines, okay? 2 lines, and you should have enough string in there to do whatever we're going to do. You're going to take both of the top pieces of thread, your top pieces of thread, move the bottom ones back, and you're literally going to just slightly pull. Slightly pull. Now, some of you guys have been seeing my videos, and you see me when I gather, I only do 1 stitch. I haven't been doing the double stitches. The double stitches is most definitely for beginners. This is how I was taught to do it in fashion school, I started shortcutting it a little bit. Let me tell you the advantages and the disadvantages. With my single stitch, if one of my stitches were to break, I would literally have to pull out all of the thread and do it all over again. If one of these were to break, at least I have another one for backup, all right? So keep that in mind. Double stitches is the proper way to do it, all right? And you're just literally just lightly pulling the thread. You're lightly pulling this, and you're taking your fingers and you're just gathering your actual fabric, and this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. So when you get ready to actually sew on like the waistband to a skirt, or you are ready to put your top together and you had it gathered in certain places, you will literally stitch right in between both of these lines. So you would attach it here, then you'll pull your gathering threads out, and it will keep it gathered for you, all right? So I hope you love this technique. I use it all the time on like maxi skirts and certain tops, and so I absolutely love gathering. It allows you to get the fullness, but also the tightness where you need it. All right, you guys, so last video tutorial tips. All right, so let's pretend like this is a skirt or this is a sleeve. I have it hemmed all the way around, and I left an opening. All right, not at the side seam. You see my side seams are together, but I left an opening just somewhere kind of along the middle. And I have some elastic here. You also need a safety pin, all right? So you take your safety pin, you put it onto your elastic, and you go in the opening and you just run your safety pin through there, okay? So you're literally just going all the way around whatever the garment is, whether it's a skirt, the waistband of the skirt, whether it's a sleeve, and you should be able to just kind of feel for your safety pin. You also, as far as the hem, you want to make it a little bit, just slightly bigger than the width of your elastic, okay? So we're going all the way through, all right? I just passed up my side seam, and I'm headed back around. And again, just kind of working those fingers as you go around. And then what's going to happen is you're going to make it back to that same opening right here. Okay, you're going to make it right back to this opening where you originally started. You're going to pull that through. All right, you're going to take the two ends of your elastic. You're going to stitch them together. Pull this open like this, and literally just close up your stitch at the end. All right, very, very, very simple to do. So again, you're just going to stitch it together, pull that, and then close up your stitch right there. And that's how you run elastic through.